What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Green Arrow from Injustice 2. And so here we have the Injustice Green Arrow posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's run through his accessories. Green Arrow does come with a couple of accessories. We of course do get his bow and arrow, which does look really nice. We have a quiver, and that does come with a bundle of arrows, which is removable, and then he does come with a McFarlane display base. Other than that, he doesn't come with anything else. No arrow with the bow, it's just the bow without an arrow, so yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Green Arrow. And so here we have a closer look at Green Arrow, and I have to say McFarlane has done a really good job with the face on this figure. Now, I'm not a fan of the side eye, especially because Oliver Queen, he's right-handed, so when he draws a bow, he draws it with the right hand. The way his eyes are pointing, he really can't draw the bow as you would expect, because this hand would have the bow, this one would draw the arrow. So if he were to draw the arrow, he'd be looking off into the side that isn't... I don't know, it's just really bad planning by McFarlane. I would have preferred the side eye if it was looking in the proper direction, but yeah, the side eye right here is looking in the wrong direction. But overall, really good head sculpt here on Oliver Queen. I do like the mask, although I know there's some people that are a fan of the bigger mask. This one does work for the most part. I do like it. Really do love the hair sculpt. It's done very well, and they did a fantastic job adding some shading and some colors in there just so it looks more like hair and not just a piece of plastic. So yeah, sculpt work is really good, paint is really solid, and then that paint scheme does very well right here on his goatee. They did a fantastic job painting his mustache and his goatee. He even has a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow, which I'm actually surprised they did a really good job on it. McFarlane normally doesn't do 5 o'clock shadow well. He's just like shading underneath the chin, but yeah, good job on McFarlane there. As far as the costume goes, I actually did like the way Green Arrow looked in Injustice 2. I wasn't a fan of his Injustice 1 outfits. I think they were kind of terrible, but his Injustice 2 base costume does look really nice. You can see he does have chest piece right here, and then he has some pauldrons right here. We of course do have the leather armor, which you would expect Green Arrow to wear, and it does look really nice, really cool. I do like the fact that it does have his Green Arrow insignia right here where his belt would be, and then we do have it right here on his armor, and you can see that does go around, and you can see the way it's supposed to be is that it all straps onto the quiver, so you would basically have the quiver like that, and the armor holds the quiver in place. So it's a really nice design. It is cool. Figure wise, quiver is kind of plain. It's just done in one color as well as the arrows. Could have been done much better if it was done in the same color scheme as Oliver here. A little bit disappointed in that, but we do have really nice colors here on the green. We have a lighter green, then we have a darker green. In a real perfect world, the green in between the laces would be this same lighter green, and I'm pretty sure the laces would be a lighter green too. Just like with Reverse Flash, we don't have too much paint here on the back. We do have some right here where the big portion of his outfit is, which thankfully they did paint that and not leave it the dark green. Really glad about that. And then you can see his pauldrons do seem a little bit oversized. I think they could have done a little bit smaller, or they could be tighter on his arms. Overall, they do look good with that dark green and gold outline. Then you can see the straps that hold the pauldrons along his biceps. So if he were to actually be wearing this, it would probably be connected somewhere here at the shoulders and then here at the bicep for stability. You can see he does have these really nice gauntlets here. Archers would normally wear gauntlets to prevent the burn from the arrow, so it does make sense him having gauntlets, just not on both sides, but I understand it has to be kind of uniform in a video game, especially when they move for different sides. So yeah, it looks good. Gloves have a really nice texture to them. You can see a little bit more of that gauntlet coming down onto the glove, which looks really good. And then we have that same I want to say it's like Kevlar right here for his pants. We have some they're not shurikens, but they're like little knives that he would pull out and throw at people. Flechettes, I think that's what they're called. They're called flechettes. Some utility pouches right here, some green buckles going around there. I do like the pouches right here. They do look really nice. And then of course we do have a knee pad, which it does look like it's incorporated into the outfit, so the knees are padded, which makes sense if he's going to be taking poses with the as an archer. He might have to kneel down a lot. Then we do have these really interesting boots. It does look like he has just his regular boots on right here, and then he also does have leather armor right here, which you can see if my camera will focus. It does have this really nice worn leather texture to it, although a little bit of paint would go a long way. You can see it does have some paint right here on the inside, but yeah, I would prefer a little more difference in colors. Maybe have a lighter green, not quite this lime green, just a lighter green somewhere to break up that design. And then we go on to his boots, which do use that really dark green, and there is some lime green in there, but yeah, for the most part it's just that same dark green. Overall, Oliver Queen here looks amazing, and this Oliver Queen can actually fit in different displays. You don't have to just have him in the Injustice display, because he kind of also looks like he goes in the Snyderverse and the DCEU. So I do like the versatility of this Green Arrow. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Green Arrow compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Green Arrow posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we do have Green Arrow posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And for one final comparison, here we do have Green Arrow posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation. And Green Arrow does sport, for the most part, your standard McFarlane articulation. He does have a double ball joint in the head, which does let him look up. It would go a little bit further, but his hair does clash with his costume, so that's a little bit unfortunate. His head would go down a little bit further, but again, his goatee clashes with his chest, so do keep that in mind. And it doesn't feel like his neck is on a ball joint, unfortunately, but we do have some really nice head pivot, as well as left and right rotation. Arms are on ball joints that go into the torso, so they do lean or move back, and not so far forward just because of how his armor is designed right here. It's a little bit unfortunate that it doesn't go any further than that, but it does go out to the side really nicely all the way around. And I do like the fact that his pauldron is attached to his biceps, so that does get out of the way when you go all the way up. Bicep swivel works nice, and as you can see, the armor does go with the bicep, so that's pretty cool. Double bend here at the elbow. We do have a swivel hinge here at the wrist, which does have side to side, or you can rotate that joint to have up and down, so that looks really good. He does have a ball joint here somewhere in the torso. I want to say it's going to be right about here, which does allow for some really nice lean side to side. Arches back about that far, arches forward quite a bit, but it is a little bit restricted just because this is a rubber overlay. And as much as I do like the fact that the rubber overlay keeps the sculpt uniform, it also does hinder articulation, so do keep that in mind. He does rotate left and right. Legs do kick forward to about right there, which is pretty good. Kick back, out to the side, very nicely. He does have a thigh swivel up high. It does a little bit hard to rotate, but it does move. We do have double knee bend, which looks good. We have rotation here at his foot, a hinge in the ankle going back and forward. Forward facing pin for rocker ankle, a little bit restrictive because of how his boot is designed. I thought this would be a softer piece, but no, it's kind of solid right there, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And then we do have a toe hinge. So overall, McFarlane has done a really good job articulating Green Arrow here. I just kind of wish that he had the right side eye, not looking to the right, but looking to the left. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Green Arrow pose for my final thoughts, and overall McFarlane has done a really good job with this Green Arrow. I think this Green Arrow is miles above their first attempt at Green Arrow. Of course, that Green Arrow was from the CW universe. This one is from the Injustice universe. But it does show a huge difference what time does when it comes to toy making. You either get much better or you get worse, and McFarlane has gotten much better in terms of making figures. The rubber overlays fit better on figures, and I really do think the sculpt work on this Green Arrow is far superior to that one that we got back in Series 1, which was what, 2 years ago at this point. McFarlane is absolutely killing it with McFarlane figures, or with the DC Multiverse figures, I can't lie to you guys. Green Arrow here is a pretty impressive figure in terms of sculpt, and I really do like it. And like I said, you can actually throw this Green Arrow in several different displays. He has enough detail that you can throw him in the DCEU universe. He's an Injustice character, and he looks really nice posed to comic book figures as well, although he does have a little more realistic facial features compared to other figures. He still looks really good next to those characters, and I really do like how he came out. If you are looking for this Green Arrow, he is in stores at the time I'm making this video, and he is seemingly more prevalent at GameStop, which makes sense seeing as how he does come from a video game. I do recommend this Green Arrow if you're a fan of the character, of his design in Injustice 2, or just want a really good Green Arrow in your collection. I do know that there's a Page Puncher's Green Arrow coming out soon, where it has a different head sculpt, which I am looking forward to that, but we'll compare the two when we actually get them in hand. But until then, guys, this is a really, really good figure to have in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Multiverse figures. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.